So this is a quick video on AIESEC's Summer Internships 2015. If you were unable to attend the information session yesterday and love Buckman, then this is the video you should be watching to get an overview on our program. So let's get started. So AIESEC, we offer two internship programs. There are professional internships and volunteering internships. So professional internships would be called the Global Talent Program, and volunteering internships would be called the Global Citizen Program. So I'll be using the two names interchangeably, so just wanted to make that clear. So let's start with professional. So professional internships, this is where you experience new work cultures. You become an asset to firms, and I like to call this the work and impact model because you go to a different country and you see their work culture. You know how to communicate with professionals in that country, and you also know the cultural norms. So you go there, you learn all of this knowledge, and when you come back to your host country, you reintegrate and you make an impact here by being one of the only ones who has that niche or that competitive advantage when having the knowledge. So you automatically become an asset to firms. So we offer professional internships in teaching as well as marketing. For more information on more detail on teaching as well as marketing, uh, there is our PowerPoint has been uploaded on SlideShare, and the link is in the application form. So you can always click on the link and go through the details. This is just a quick overview. Okay, so what are the next steps to going on a global talent internship? So obviously, if you have seen this video or are watching this video, then that means that you've already found the application form. What you need to do is you need to fill out the entire application form. Once you've filled out the application form, an AIESEC representative will be in contact with you within 24 hours to schedule an interview. This interview is just like any other interview that you would find in any other internship office or agency, and it is to assess your eligibility and your requirements to see if you are the ideal candidate to go abroad with AIESEC. And finally, if once you've passed your interview, you then come to us and you pay the internship fee of 475 Canadian dollars, and you can then immediately start applying for your internship. So I'll go into more depth about the fees later on, but let's move on to volunteering internships. So volunteering internships, this is the Global Citizen Program. And before I go into the next steps for Global Citizen, I'm going to talk about what exactly you will be doing, a general overview. So starting with directly impacting communities abroad. When you go abroad with Global Citizen, you get a chance to interact with the locals and to really immerse yourself in that local culture and that local life. So it has that direct firsthand knowledge of the community. Second, develop your interpersonal skills. This means that when you're interacting with a completely new culture, they might have different communication norms. They might like to communicate a specific way that you're unfamiliar with. This is a chance for you to learn how exactly you can communicate with different cultures and really gain that skill of adaptability so as to find and even one channel where you can communicate between different cultures. And finally, you build a global network. This means that not only do you build connections with AIESEC representatives here in McGill in Montreal, but when you go to that host country where you're doing your internship, you build connections with the locals there and with the interns there. So you really build a global network of connections from people all over the place. So you can see four icons at the bottom. So starting from left to right, I'm just going to be talking about the different issues where you can volunteer under. So environment is the first one, literacy, social entrepreneurship, and the last one in pink is culture. So again, if you want more information about what these internships offer and more detail about the issues, please look at our PowerPoint presentation on SlideShare. Okay, so what are the next steps to going on a Global Citizen internship? So for starters, fill out the application form, and once you've filled out the application form, you schedule your screening appointment. A screening appointment is where you will be assessed if you have the right mindset, and then we'll ask you what exactly you want to develop and see if your what you want to develop and what you want out of this internship aligns with what AIESEC wants aims to achieve by sending individuals on internships. And finally, once you've passed your screening appointment, you come to us and you pay the fee of $475. And then you get access to our global database of internships, and you can start applying for your volunteering internships. Okay, so what is your investment? This slide specifically talks about volunteering internships. However, I will clarify with professional ones as well because they're slightly different. So for starters, as I said before, there is an administrative fee of $475. There's $465, which is an internship fee, and $10, which is a membership fee. The second, for volunteering internships, food and accommodation is most likely provided. So 90% of the time, the food and accommodation will be provided. The duration is from 6 to 12 weeks, and the intern is responsible for flight bookings and visa processing. So, just to reiterate, food and accommodation is provided, but only 90% of the time, and only for volunteering internships. And the intern is responsible for flight bookings and visa processing. Um, so what exactly does this fee include? So the fee of $475 has four things included in it. Four main things. So the first would be access to the global database of internships. We call it Opportunities Portal, and it has a list of all of the internships that AIESEC offers in the different countries, as well as the different issues such as environment, teaching, marketing, social entrepreneurship, etc. The second would be local and international support. So local support meaning that AIESEC McGill works with you one-on-one individually so that you apply for internships regularly and you finally get an internship. And international support meaning that AIESEC is present in 126 countries. And when you go on that internship to a foreign country, you will be welcomed by an AIESEC chapter in that country. So really, you have a support system whether you're in Canada or in your host country. The third is a cultural preparation seminar in Canada as well as your host country. In this seminar, we talk about how you can adjust with culture shock, all of the information you need to know before you go to that country, as well as it's a great opportunity for you to meet other individuals going to the same region or the same country. And finally, it's also a great way to ask any of the last minute questions you might have and really prepare yourself before you go on an internship. You'll receive a corresponding cultural preparation seminar in your host country that talks about your job description, your everyday life for the next 6 weeks or 2 months, depending on professional and volunteering. And really, once again, this is to prepare you and to give you that smooth transition you need to go on to make the best out of your internship experience. And finally, we have support and servicing throughout. What I mean by this is that every step of the way through your AIESEC journey of finding an internship, going on the internship and coming back, there will always be an AIESECer or an AIESEC representative to walk alongside you so you don't get worried and you don't run into any problems. So once you pay your fee, you will have an AIESEC representative individually assigned to you, and you will meet with them every single week to discuss the progress you've made in applying for internships, as well as any concerns, any worries you might have. When you finally find that internship, you will go abroad, and the AIESEC representative is still going to keep in contact with you, and will make sure that you get exactly what you signed up for, and deal with any issues or any worries that you might have. And finally, when you come back, we reintegrate you into AIESEC McGill, we reintegrate you into Canada, and we help you and we encourage you to share your experiences and how you made an impact on society with your internship. So, why exactly should you go on an AIESEC internship? So, how exactly are we different from any other volunteering service? So, for starters, we develop leaders. This is what we always say, and we mean it when we say we develop your leadership skills. Internships are simply our tools because our primary focus is to develop the leader in you. This means that we will constantly keep in contact with you when you're on your internship. We will ask you what you want to develop while you're on that internship and make sure we follow up to see if you are indeed getting the experience you've asked for on that internship, and also modify it or make sure that any of your concerns, any of your worries, we deal with them so that you have the best experience possible. The second is you're traveling to a foreign place, but a familiar environment. What I mean by this is, although you're traveling to a new country, because AIESEC is present in 126 countries, you're traveling to an AIESEC chapter. Because you're familiar with AIESEC McGill and its culture, you're traveling to a new foreign place you've never been before, but you're entering an environment that you are familiar with, which is an amazing and a fascinating concept. And it's going to make you feel safe, it's going to make you feel secure, and it's going to make you feel welcome, give you that sense of belonging. And finally, we provide servicing. However, we are also your friends, and we're not the only ones. What I mean by this is when you're assigned your AIESEC representative, not only are you going to meet with them to discuss the progress you've made on applying and finding internships, but we also sit down and talk to you about what exactly your obstacles are, what are the challenges you face, and what exactly are you hoping to overcome or achieve on this internship. And we make sure that you get that experience. And we are not, AIESEC McGill is not the only place you will make these connections. You'll also make these connections in the host AIESEC chapter in the host country with the locals, and you make this global network that I talked about that supports you when you need the support, and that's there for you and celebrates your achievements along with you. So next steps. So the next step for you would be applications. I've written info session there because the people who attended the info session had priority, and however, since you did not attend the information session, you must give the application. Let me just repeat that because it was a little confusing. If you're watching this and you've been to an information session, and so you were at the information session on Monday at 5:30 in Lev Buckman, February 9th, you do not need to do the application. But if you were not at the information session or couldn't make it for some reason, you need to do the application. Fill out the application, an AIESEC representative will be in contact with you, and the deadline for the application is Saturday, 14th of February, 7:59 p.m. The reason we have a deadline is because we're processing the first 60 applicants, and this is with the people in the information session and the people outside of the information session. At our information session on Monday, we already received 20 applicants, so that leaves 40 places 40 places available. So I would encourage you to apply as soon as you can so that you actually get a chance to book your interview or book your screening appointment. Because if you cannot book your interview or screening appointment, you will not be able to proceed with your interview process. Some of the questions I had yesterday, the first one was, what is the difference between a screening appointment and an interview? I talked about this earlier on. An interview is longer, it's 20 minutes, and it is an actual interview where we assess your eligibility and if you're the ideal candidate. A screening appointment is we assess your mindset. It's much shorter, it's 10 minutes. The second question is, when are these appointments or interviews going to happen? The interviews for professional internships are going to take place throughout this week. So the earlier you apply, the better chance you have at getting an interview. So when the AIESEC representative calls you, they will be booking an appointment during the week sometime. The screening appointment is going to take place on Sunday the 15th of February. And it's going to be 10 minutes long. And once you've attended your screening appointment, there is the understanding that if you pass it, then you will have to pay the $475 internship fee to start applying for your internships. So once again, screening appointments are going to take place on Sunday, February the 15th, and we will book an appointment for you. Interviews are going to take place during the week, and we will book an appointment for you with that as well. Okay, so let's move on. So let's go through the entire flow once again. So the first step is to sign up, which if you've already done, so you don't have to worry about it. The second step is to fill out an application. So this is what you need to do. please fill out the application. And the deadline is Saturday, 14th of February, 7:59 p.m. And fill it out as soon as you can, because with the volume of applicants we receive, you might or might not be able to book an interview or a screening appointment. And the earlier you fill it in, the better chance you have at booking an interview or an appointment. So once you've scheduled a screening appointment or scheduled an interview, you receive your results. You either pass or you fail. You pass, you will then proceed to pay the fee at our screening session on Sunday, 15th of February. And then you get access to our global database, and you can sit down with our AIESEC representative and start applying for internships immediately. One more question that I might have. So if you pass the interview during the week, when do you pay? So once you pass the interview during the week, you will also have to come on Sunday, February the 15th, to pay the internship fee. All right, so that basically summarizes the AIESEC internships, and I hope that was clear. If you have any questions, please contact me on at communications.vp@aiesecmcgill.ca. My email is in the description. So I really hope this helped, and thank you.